Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Midlife with Courage. I'm Kim Benoit, your host, and I am so happy that you're here. And if you are listening and watching this, you are obviously on my YouTube channel because I have started a YouTube channel. I thought that I would show you a couple of episodes. I record them on Zoom and then I put them, usually when I just do regular episodes, I just take the audio off and then I use the audio and you never see the video. And now I'm talking to the camera because I've learned to do that. You notice I didn't do that at first. So I thought that it would be kind of fun to start a YouTube channel and show you like what I actually look like and what it looks like to do a podcast. And hopefully my future guest will be okay with that. If they're not, then I won't, but it's just kind of fun. So here I am in my beautiful headphones and my kind of still wet hair from my shower this morning. But this is it. This is what I do. It's just, I'm sitting in front of my desktop computer. I've got my microphone here. I'll raise that up so you can see that. See, yeah. Ooh. And yeah, so this is where I record. I have a little camera on my my desktop computer here and I just talk. So yay, exciting, right? You can see in the background, this is my actual office. I've got, this cool little chair that I got at a vintage store. And there's those are some leggings that I meant to donate somewhere. I've got like a little electric fireplace there. I've got some pictures of my daughters. Let's see, there we go. And then that basket is supplies that I use to make some different essential oil products that I sell. So yeah, I've got my door locked so that the dog can't come in. Otherwise, he'd probably come in and say hello, but we'll save that for another day. So it's been a while since I have done a solo episode, and that is for a very good reason. That reason is I've got so many wonderful women, and they have such beautiful stories that I could be doing like 2 or 3 episodes a week and not run out. And so that's amazing and that's wonderful. And it just makes me realize that every woman has a story and everyone needs to hear their story. Someone needs to hear their story. You might think your story is not that big or important or, memorable, but it is, and someone needs to hear it. So I guess I'm on a mission to share as many stories as I can. And so hopefully that resonates with you and you are enjoying them. Apparently you are enjoying them because my podcast numbers are going through the roof. And when I say numbers, I mean numbers of downloads. When I started, of course, starting out a podcast, it takes a while to get some traction and to get going. And, I'd have 10, 15 people listen. And then it was like, we're up in the 20s. And then probably even just a few months ago, it was, now we're up to 30 maybe in a week. Now I'm getting 100 every week, you guys. It's been amazing. If you follow me on social media, you know that in March, I hit 1,000. So it took almost a year to get 1,000. Well, I am up to, since the end of March, this is the middle of May, so a month and a half, I'm at well over 400. So almost halfway in 2.5 months what I did in a whole year. If you do the math, it kind of works out. So, wow, I am so excited for it. And that just means that I'm sharing my story with more and more women and you are listening and I so appreciate it. So keep on listening. If you wouldn't mind leaving me a little review on Apple, I would so love it. If you don't listen on Apple or you don't have like the iPhone or whatever, send me a written review and I'll put it on my website. That works too. And I think you can also put it on Google. If you listen on Google Podcasts, that's another great place to put it. So I would love that. I would so appreciate it. All right, so what's going on? What's the update? Let's see. Well, the download numbers are the update, basically. That is awesome, and I so appreciate that, like I said. I'm doing the monthly wellness options for you, 1 episode every month. And I hope you enjoy that. I hope that's helpful. I hope it's educational. We had Dr. Barb Wasson and then Dr. Caitlin Hayter. And this month we have a psychologist, actually. She's going to talk about mental health. And so I'm excited about that. I've got a nutritionist for June, and I think I have someone else lined up for July now, but I'm going to keep that I'm not going to share that yet because that's not 100%, but yeah, so those episodes may actually turn into maybe another podcast if they are well received, which I kind of think they are. I'm going to kind of see what happens with that. And so that may be another podcast, but won't be anytime soon. Just telling you, for now, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. So this is going to be a bonus episode, the one I'm doing right now, because I kind of need to do that if I want to do any solo episodes, I guess. So having a little bonus episode for you to listen to and possibly watch. So very cool. The blog, I just put out I have a new blog coming out about a recent sale that I was at. I have been doing these vendor events, and my plan for this spring and summer was to get into vendor events, markets, and just wherever I could, whatever worked in with the schedule, to sell the products that I make. And so I've done 2 already, and my last one it was fun. Let's just say that. It was not lucrative, and I share that in the blog, but as I was getting set up for the sale, this person next to me came, or the person that was going to be next to me came and started setting up. And it was a person that I worked with before, one of my former coworkers, and she's so nice. And we had such a good time. You know, she helped get my tent set up, and then I helped her get her tent set up. And it was a windy day, and it kind of got windier as the day went on. And she had all these she's a quilter, so she had all these table runners and little mug kind of placemat kind of things, and placemats and all these little things. But anyway, the wind would kind of come up and take some of them off the table, and they'd go flying. So myself and this other vendor on her other side would have to take off and go grab and put them back on. And it was just funny. You know how when you're like, you lose a piece of paper and the wind takes it away, and you have to kind of chase after it, and just when you reach it, the wind pops up again and it takes it away. Yeah, it was like that. It wasn't pretty, but it was funny. And I haven't laughed so much at a vendor event than I did last weekend. And then at the end of the day, I was kind of looking back, and I realized, I only sold 4 things. 4. 4 whole items from my wholesale. And I had my heel balm, I had lip balms, I had the canine calm spray and bandanas, and flea and tick spray. And I had a little thing about my podcast so that people could like scan the QR code to see my podcast. And yeah, I sold 4 things. But you know what? At first I was like, oh man, that's not good. But I had so much fun that day. It didn't really matter. You know, I could have I started to kind of get negative about it. But then I thought about it. Okay, I made enough money to cover my booth fee for the day, because you have to pay a little money to rent a space for these, different sales. I made more than enough to cover that fee. So that's a win, at least I had that. But then I was thinking, oh no, I had so much fun, and it was really fun and nice. And yes, I talked to people, but spending that time with the other ladies, and just chasing the stuff that the wind would take away, and we'd have to hold down our tents a little bit. And anyway, it was just a fun day. And so that's I wrote about that in my latest blog, which will be coming out here any day now. And yeah, so hopefully it helps you. If you've got a goal in mind and you don't quite reach it, maybe there's something else happening that you can take more joy in, besides making the money or whatever it happens to be. So hopefully that's helpful for you all too as well. So yeah, so I guess that's probably all I wanted to update you on so far. Oh, nope, I do have one more thing. I have started a Patreon website. And if you're not familiar with Patreon, that is a way that you can support artists, podcasters, singers, anybody like that. Just a little financially support them is what I'm saying. And it's just for fun. I want to see if I have a goal of trying to get my podcast to a point where I can pay someone else to edit it and maybe market it a little bit. and that takes a little bit of money. So I wanted to try this Patreon account to see if I could get a little bit of support for that. And like for $5 a month, you can get a shout out on the air. You get bonus episodes that are just for the Patreon supporters and early access to the episodes, which is kind of cool. You can get them, they come out on Tuesdays, but you can listen to them on Mondays. And yeah, so that's one level. And then there's another level where actually I'm doing like a 6-month membership, and that's $10 a month. And I'm going to send you a gift every month. So just to see, it does not mean that, oh my gosh, now you have to pay to listen to Midlife with Courage. No, it does not mean that at all. That just means if you want to financially support it, I would be so appreciative of that, and you can. But that, like I said, that doesn't mean that you can't listen if you don't do that. You're still going to get the same fabulous episodes that you're getting now. If you don't want to do that, totally fine. So, oops, and then you heard me kick my chair probably. I really try carefully not to move too much when I'm doing the episodes, when I'm recording, but sometimes I just have to move a little bit. So I accidentally kicked my chair there. So I'm a real person, real things happen. So yeah, the Patreon. I will put the link in the show notes here. And if you are interested in that, great. If you have more questions for me, just let me know. Awesome. All right, you guys, I'm going to close this out. And I just want to say, just as a reminder, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Look for an episode coming soon with her name is actually Dr. Mary Freitag. She is going to be talking to us about mental health issues and how we can help each other with those, and how she helps her patients with that. She's got some really cool ideas and some treatments, and it involves the woods, you guys. So she's a really amazing person, and I can't wait for you to hear from her. So yeah, so if you are in a mental health challenge right now, please reach out to someone. If you know someone who may be in a mental health challenge right now, or something just isn't right, please say something. Ask them if they're okay. Tell them, I noticed that you don't seem yourself. I'm worried about you. How can I help you? Okay, just say those words and see what happens. And I will also be putting the National Suicide Prevention Hotline in the show notes as well, because I think it's very important that we all have that resource in case we need it. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this first solo episode of Midlife with Courage. And thank you for watching and listening. And I hope that you take care of your beautiful self, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.